Started looking around. I actually bought a '66 Mustang.
Very cool.
From
Iconic, man.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
Hey guys, Sonny Farmer here with Mountain Motorsports, the Pit Box, and I'm here with a mythical legend at the Buford store, our general manager, Bryan. Welcome. Welcome to the Pit Box.
What's up, Sonny?
You come to Mountain Motorsports and why? Let's just start with getting right in there in your teeth.
All the way back. Started with this company back in 2012.
Okay.
The Marietta location was moving south, I believe from Motions, where
Right.
you were. Came on as a B-level technician.
Okay.
And been here ever since.
So at that point in your life when you came to Mountain Motorsports, why Mountain Motorsports? What were you doing before? What caused the transition?
We had just started a family. I had a 1-year-old at that time. We were looking to move ourselves forward in life and an opportunity to grow, and honestly for me as a tech to become a better technician.
You know, they say when you want to be a good musician, go play with musicians that are better than you, and that's going to happen, right?
100%.
Same thing within sports or anything like that, or if you're riding a dirt bike, go ride with a crew that rides better than you do, and you kind of get better just as a result of being around. I totally get where you are coming from there, and obviously we got some legendary guys and gals over at that store where it started for us in Georgia rather, and you got an opportunity to kind of come up in the ranks. So
yeah.
you worked there as a tech for how long at the Marietta store?
Until 2017.
Okay.
As you were speaking about with the people I was able to work with there, a lot more experience there than what I was dealing with. I was about 25 years old. Learned a lot from those guys, to be honest, and I was able to give that back to some of the newer techs that were coming through. 2017, an opportunity came up to become the service manager there.
Okay.
It's pretty adamant that I felt like I could do it well. Basically told them I need to be the service manager to grow this department, and somehow they let me do it.
Okay, they gave you a shot, nothing wrong with that.
They gave me a shot, and I mean, we did some great things. Still with those same experienced technicians, we really were able to transform the service departments, honestly, company-wide. Tried some things, good and bad, and a lot of the good is still in place right now.
Then you're a service manager at Marietta, and then how did you go from being a service manager at Marietta to being a general manager at this Mall of Georgia location?
Oh man, that was another process. Once again, surrounding yourself around the right people that push you. Jason Lamont, Robert Ross, both of them were a huge part of this, helping me grow and look for what was next. You know, I was always curious as to the rest of the business.
Sure.
Poking my head in, trying to learn how to do finance when I was a service manager.
Right.
Did a lot of the part stuff.
Right.
I think curiosity is probably the best word.
Every day you're building a resume.
I wanted to know how the whole business operated, and latching on to those guys. My general manager over at Marietta, Josh, really poured himself into me as well. And here we are. Been here for a year and 9 months already, which has flown by.
Wow, it's incredible. Obviously, when I come in this store, and I've said it before, man, the culture's strong. You've got, you know, all this inventory. This place is just, it's huge, man. You're immersed from the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave with power sports. It's everywhere. What part did you in power sports? I mean, you know, you said you were a technician, you were a service manager, you're a general manager. What about on the personal side? Tell me about Bryan Kruger. What makes you tick? When you're not at work, what do you like to do? Like, how'd you get wrapped up in power sports?
The beginning, honestly, even prior to coming to Mountain, was just anything to be able to be around this stuff. I'll be honest with you, the first dealership I worked at, I was amazed that they were just going to pay me and let me be there.
Right.
I swept the floors, hung out, took out the trash, hung out some more,
right,
and somehow got paid. Right.
Right.
I've been riding motorcycles since I was 17. And that just kind of transcended into dirt bikes. A lot of the technicians I work with rode dirt bikes, and it just kept growing as the family came. All of a sudden, we're in a side-by-side.
Right.
And it just kept on going. I got into racing watercraft. Again, it's just something to keep growing, keep learning the industry. It's really been fun. It's been fantastic.
We're finding the more people that we talk to within our team that, man, it's just a lifestyle, right? And you're around it all the time. You would think that, oh, I get sick of it. People that, you know, work in a pizza restaurant don't even want to look at a pizza, right? It's not that way with us. I mean, we got people's lives here that have been somehow tied into power sports for decades at a time with different links. You know, I'm with dirt bikes, side by sides, like you're saying, and that kind of grows, and you're growing professionally and stuff.
Sure.
Where do you see yourself from, say, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? where are we going to find Bryan Kruger in 2028?
I'll tell you, thinking about the future like that, going back to why we all started in power sports, that has all changed for me.
Sure.
Right? I still enjoy this stuff. It's fun. Everybody thinks that we're on the motorcycles. Everybody's running 180 miles an hour, and
right.
And that's what's fun. That's what we do for fun. Everything evolves. I still have a sport bike. I ride at about 65 miles an hour. Right. Not going 90 miles an hour on jet skis any longer. And a lot of my reason for power sports and for being here is actually these people. It became less about the bikes, and honestly, for about a 5 to 6 year span there, it was all about the people and growing the people and growing the business. And I've recently gotten back into riding.
Back to your roots.
Well, and it goes back with these people. I get to go ride with my staff. I mean, it's so much fun. Lets everybody reconnect on why we all love this and remind ourselves that we love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're a family guy. Obviously, I watch you on social media a lot. You recently picked you up a classic car, man. Tell me about that. That's pretty cool.
Yep. So I got on a whim that I wanted to get an old car and started looking around. I actually bought a '66 Mustang.
Very cool. Iconic, man.
Yep. Oh, I love it. Doesn't go super fast. No power steering, no air, no anything.
You're driving it.
You are driving that car when you drive it. And what's fun is I actually bought it from the family of our parts manager here in Buford.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't know if you knew that. So it's fun for them. They ask for pictures all the time. Load the kids up. It's kind of our weekend car.
Yeah. Sometimes it's more fun to try to drive a slow car fast than it is to try to drive a fast car slow.
It's an experience every time.
It is. When you're driving something old like that, it's kind of crazy because, you're shifting the gears or you're using manual brakes and manual steering, and it really, you're in it, man. You're right in the teeth when you're riding that thing, right? It's not, you're just glazing down the road with one finger on the steering wheel. Like, you're really focused on what you're doing and stuff. And it's again, man, it's loosely related again to what we do. I mean, it's got wheels and tires and a motor, and it's all kind of, from the same family. It really is.
And what it does for me, obviously I have my children. I have a 12-year-old and 8-year-old. My 12-year-old son is gravitated towards that. He can tell you what kind of motor's in it. He knows there's a disc conversion. He knows everything about it.
Right.
So when you come up and ask about it, he doesn't even let me talk. He'll jump right in front of me. He's like, yeah, it's a 66, got a 302 in it.
Right. You're building memories. You're building memories.
We work on it
with
together.
Your son.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We work on it together, and it's a very cool tool, for bonding.
It is. It's huge, but we don't stop sometimes and think, when we sell that PW50, we're selling a kid his first bike that he's going to experience with his dad or her dad. And when we, sell a watercraft, that watercraft is going to be used for those grandparents to be the coolest grandparents on the lake because they recognize that their grandchildren don't want to sit on the pontoon boat all day or sit on a dock.
Hang out with them, yeah.
So they get them out there on a ski, and those are memories. I know I have memories of my first motorcycle or whatever, and I'm sure you do too. And as we're interacting with people in power sports, we're finding out that is one of the reasons that makes what we do worth doing is when we see it impacting people's lives. We're sharing memories. We're selling memories. We're selling fun.
100%.
And things that'll carry out throughout your life, and that's part of it, right? And that goes back into our culture, and we find that the more people we talk to, the more common ground that we have with people is that. But we want to sell the memories, you know what I mean, as far as what we're doing.
And we get to expose people to it. For example, my parents never put foot in a motorcycle shop before.
This is something totally different for you. Now you're doing it. Now you're carrying it on to another generation.
They had no idea. Motorcycles were not a thing, not a thought, anything for me growing up. Got around some people that had them. I had a buddy help me buy my first one, and obviously I started working at a dealership, as a porter, and went to college for a semester. Decided that wasn't going to work, so I stayed in the dealership. And as my parents started coming around our industry, they started to perceive it as more of a career than a job. I think always they looked at it as, oh, you work in the bike shop. In reality, they show up and they see this place.
Game changer.
It is wild. Now they're out on jet skis with me. It's almost like I flipped the roles of what you were talking about.
Right.
I had to get my parents into this, but they love it. They go out. We have a boat. They come out with me on that all the time. So it's great.
It's generational. Let me ask you this, and I know that a lot of people are wanting to know this. If we were looking at Van Halen as a whole, are you more David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar, do you think, as far as Van Halen's considered?
Man, I don't know either of them well enough to answer that. Which would you be? I'll be the opposite of you.
Up until this point, me and you were doing really good, but we're going to go ahead and cut it right there.